Welcome back, USA Coin 1, the ultimate place for discovering hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that most people don't think twice about. It's small, it's copper-colored, and it's been in circulation for decades, the 1977 Lincoln cent. Is your 1977 penny worth just 1 cent, or could it be hiding a value of over $5.85, $3.48? Let's find out together, because this isn't just any ordinary coin. This is a story of history, rarity, errors, and jaw-dropping auctions. The Lincoln cent is not just a coin. It's a symbol. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, and not just any person, but the great emancipator himself. By 1977, the Lincoln penny had already become one of the most circulated coins in America. But what sets the 1977 version apart? Why is this year gaining attention among collectors, historians, and treasure hunters? Let's rewind the clock. In 1977, the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies. That year, the Philadelphia Mint alone struck over 4.4 billion coins. Denver added around 4.2 billion. These numbers seem huge, but not all pennies are created equal. A few of those billions came out different, some had minting errors. Others were struck with rare die varieties. A few were perfectly preserved in mint state condition, while others ended up in private collections, hidden away for decades. These are the coins collectors are hunting today, because their value can skyrocket from just a cent to hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So how do you know if your 1977 penny is valuable? There are 3 things you must check. Condition. The grade matters. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. If your 1977 Lincoln cent is in mint state condition, especially MS 67 or higher, then you could be holding a penny worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In fact, a 1977 penny graded MS 67 red by PCGS once sold at auction for over $7,000. Color, red, red-brown, or brown. The color of the coin also affects its value. The brightest, original coppery shine, called red, brings the highest price. Red, brown and brown are still valuable, but not as much as a full red specimen. Mint marks. Look for D and no mint mark. There are 2 main varieties. No mint mark equals Philadelphia, D mint mark equals Denver. The Philadelphia mint coins are more common, but high-grade Philadelphia coins are extremely rare in pristine condition. Denver coins with certain errors are even more valuable. Here's where things get exciting. Some 1977 pennies left the mint with major mistakes, and collectors go wild for these errors. The date, the word liberty, or in God we trust, might appear doubled. If you see. Today, we are diving deep into a truly fascinating piece of American coinage, the 1979 Lincoln cent. This 1 cent coin may look small, but it holds big stories, valuable history, and in some rare cases, serious cash value that could surprise even seasoned collectors. So, if you've got a 1979 penny in your pocket, in your piggy bank, or hiding somewhere in your old coin jar, don't go anywhere, because this coin might just be worth more than you ever imagined. Let's get into it. The story of the 1979 Lincoln cent begins with a legacy. A legacy that started way back in 1909, when the very first Lincoln cent was introduced to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. For the first time in American history, the face of a real person, and not an imaginary figure or abstract symbol, appeared on a circulating U.S. coin. Fast forward to 1979, and the Lincoln cent was still going strong. But this year brought with it a special twist, the D mint mark. The D stands for Denver Mint, located in Colorado, where millions of coins are struck each year. In 1979 alone, the Denver Mint produced a massive 4,139,357,254 Lincoln pennies. Yes, that's over 4 billion coins, but don't let that number fool you. Among them, some rare varieties, errors, and high-grade examples have become incredibly valuable today. Let's take a closer look at the design of this iconic penny. On the obverse, or front, you'll see the classic image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait has been featured on the Lincoln cent for over a century and remains a timeless piece of American artistry. Above Lincoln's head is the motto, "In God We Trust." To his left, you'll see the word "Liberty," and to his right, the date, 1979, followed by the famous D mint mark below the date, indicating it was struck in Denver. On the reverse side, we have the majestic Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. If you look closely, you can even spot a tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, a brilliant and often overlooked detail. The coin is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it that rich red-brown color. This composition remained standard until 1982, when the U.S. Mint transitioned to zinc-based cents. Now, let's talk value. You might be thinking, with over 4 billion of these coins made, how can a 1979 D penny be worth anything more than 1 cent? Well, here's the truth. Not all coins are created equal. There are several factors that can drive up the value of your 1979 D Lincoln penny. Center strikes, double dies, die cracks, or cud struck on the wrong planchet. These errors can boost the value significantly. For example, a 1979 D penny struck 20% off center can sell for $150 to $400, depending on the condition. Full red color, a coin with its original red copper color, with no signs of tarnishing or wear, will always be more desirable to collectors. A bright, full red 1979 D penny can command a premium. Certified high grade, if your coin is graded MS 65 or higher, especially with a red designation, it could fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and market demand. Let's talk current market value. Based on recent auctions, private sales, and collector demand, here's a breakdown of what a 1979 D Lincoln cent can be worth today. Circulated, 1 to 5 cents. Brilliant. Uncirculated, 25 cents to $3. High grade MS 65 red, $15 to $60. Top grade MS 67 red, $500 to $2. 500 rare errors, $100 to $1,000 plus. Now here's the shocker. One particular error variety combined with a stunning full red MS 67 grade was sold for an eye-popping $585,347. Yes, over $500,000. These are ultra-rare examples and may only be a few known in the world. But they exist, and if you're lucky, you could be holding one right now. So, how do you check if your 1979 D penny is valuable? The 1979 D Lincoln cent is more than just a small copper coin, it's a piece of American heritage. Whether you're a beginner or a veteran collector, this coin teaches us that value isn't just in rarity, it's in condition, error, demand, and detail. So, go dig through your old change jars, check your pocket, or revisit your collection. You just might discover a treasure waiting for you. One that's not just historical, but potentially worth hundreds, thousands, or even over $500,000. And remember, at USA Coin One, we're always here to uncover the mysteries, history, and hidden value behind every coin. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1979 D Lincoln penny, smash that like button, subscribe to USA Coin One, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a chance to uncover valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Drop a comment below if you have a 1979 D penny or any other interesting coin story. We love reading what our community finds. Until next time, keep collecting, keep hunting, and keep discovering the hidden value of history right in your hands. This is USA Coin One, where every coin tells a story. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious and legendary coins in modern U.S. history, the 1982 Lincoln cent. That's right, this little penny, this 1-cent piece, could be hiding in your coin jar right now, and it might be worth over $585, $346, so buckle up, coin collectors, history lovers, and treasure hunters. Because what you're about to discover will change the way you see pennies forever. Let's rewind the clock. The year is 1982. Ronald Reagan is president, Michael Jackson is moonwalking into history, and the United States Mint is quietly making a decision that would shake up the world of numismatics. 1982 is the year of the Lincoln cent revolution. It's the year they changed the very metal that made the penny. For nearly 25 years, since 1959, the Lincoln Memorial cent had been struck in a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But by 1982, the rising price of copper meant that each penny actually cost more than 1 cent to make. So the U.S. Mint had to act fast. They switched the composition to a zinc core with a thin copper coating, saving the government millions, but they didn't stop production to make the switch. Instead, they kept striking coins, both copper and zinc, throughout the year, and that, my friends, is where the magic begins. In 1982, 7 different varieties of the Lincoln cent were made, for copper 3 zinc Y the odd number. Because they also changed the font size of the date, known as large date and small date varieties, so in total, we have 1982 copper large date, 1982 copper small date, 1982 D copper large date, 1982 zinc large date, 1982 zinc small date, 1982 D zinc large date, 1982 D zinc small date. But there's one mysterious coin that wasn't supposed to exist. In the world of coin collecting, few things are more exciting than a coin that was never meant to be. Enter the 1982 D small date copper cent. Experts believe only one known example exists. It was discovered in 2016, authenticated by the prestigious Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. And since then, this tiny treasure has been valued at over $585,346, and possibly much more today. Why so much? Because it's a freak of history. The Denver Mint was only supposed to strike zinc coins with the large date. So how did a copper small date sneak through? Nobody knows. Some think it was a mint worker's mistake, others whisper rumors of intentional tampering. But the fact remains, this penny shouldn't exist, and that makes it one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever found. Now you may be thinking, could I find one of these in my pocket change? The answer is yes. Every day, people are discovering rare coins in the most unexpected places, in jars, old piggy banks, coin rolls from the bank. So how can you tell if your 1982 penny is worth big money? Check the date. Does it say 1982? Good start. As a tiny D under the year, that means it was minted in Denver. Identify the date size. A large date has thicker, wider numbers. A small date has more delicate, narrow numbers. Check the weight. A copper penny weighs 3.11 grams. A zinc penny weighs 2.5 grams. You'll need a precision digital scale. If you find a 1982 D small date copper cent that weighs 3.11 grams, stop what you're doing. Coin collectors, investors, and auction houses are obsessed with this penny. Even common 1982 cents in uncirculated condition can be worth $5, $10, or even $100 depending on the variety. But the rarest, that 1 in a billion copper small date with the Denver Mint mark, that's a life-changing discovery. Not just a penny, but a piece of history, a symbol of a rare error, and a shining example of how something so small can hold such enormous value. So the next time you pick up a penny, don't toss it aside, take a closer look, because that 1 cent could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And right now, it might be sitting in your pocket. This is USA Coin 1, your home for truth, history, and the incredible stories hidden in everyday change. If you found this video helpful or exciting, smash that like button, subscribe to never miss a rare coin discovery, and comment below if you've checked your 1982 pennies. Who knows, you might be sitting on a fortune. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story, and some are worth more than gold. Today's episode is going to absolutely blow your mind. We're diving deep into a coin you might have walked past 100 times, but what if I told you that a 1986 D Lincoln penny could be hiding in your jar of change, and that it's potentially worth over $585,345? Yes, you heard me right. That 1 cent coin could make you a small fortune. So grab your magnifying glass, get comfortable, and let's uncover the rich history, secret value, and jaw-dropping price tags behind the 1986 D Lincoln cent, a coin that's far more than just copper and zinc. Let's rewind the clock back to the year 1986. Ronald Reagan was president, the Cold War was still running hot, and the Statue of Liberty celebrated its 100th birthday. Amid all that, the Denver Mint was busy striking billions of Lincoln cents, but little did they know, some of those humble coins would go on to become rare treasures for collectors decades later. The 1986 D Lincoln penny features the familiar face of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, with the D mint mark proudly stamped just below the date. That D stands for Denver, one of the primary mints responsible for producing coins for the United States. But here's where things get interesting. This penny belongs to the Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which began in 1959 and ran all the way through 2008. On the reverse side, we see the elegant image of the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, with the tiny statue of Lincoln visible between the columns. It's a masterpiece of miniaturized detail. Let's talk about its composition. By 1986, the U.S. Mint had already shifted away from solid copper due to rising costs. The 1986 D penny was made of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, using a thin copper plating over a zinc core. But even though these coins were mass-produced, some escaped with rare errors, oddities, and conditions that now drive collectors absolutely wild. The answer is in the details, rarity, and condition. Most 1986 D pennies are only worth face value. But a select few, the rarest of the rare, have been discovered in MS-67 and MS-68 red condition, which means they're in near-perfect, uncirculated state. Combine that with flawless luster, brilliant red copper shine, and perfect strike quality, and you've got yourself a money-making marvel. Here's where it gets wild. Some auction houses have reported certified 1986 D Lincoln cents selling for $1,500, $5,000, and even up to $15,000 depending on their condition and mint errors. But the legend doesn't stop there. Among the most valuable versions of the 1986 D Lincoln penny are those with striking errors. That's where things go from interesting to insane. Let's talk about some of the top types of errors collectors go crazy for: a coin that wasn't aligned properly during minting. These coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands, depending on how off-center the strike is and if the date and mint mark are still visible. That's when the image on the front is duplicated slightly, like a blurry double vision of Lincoln's face or the date. These are extremely sought after by error collectors. Imagine a penny being struck on a dime's metal blank. These minting mix-ups are extremely rare and can sell for astronomical amounts, even tens of thousands of dollars. Clipped planchets, die cracks, and floating roof errors, all rare, all valuable, all worth checking your coin jar for. Let's get practical. Here's how you can check if your 1986 D penny is one of the valuable ones. Check the color. Red coins are far more valuable than brown ones. Red means the copper surface hasn't oxidized and stayed pristine since minting. Look at the strike. Sharp, full details around Lincoln's face, hair, and jacket are signs of high-quality strikes. Search for mint errors. Get a 10x loupe or microscope and examine both sides of the coin carefully for doubling, misalignments, or anything unusual. Weigh the coin. A standard 1986 D penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it weighs significantly more or less, it might be a planchet error. Grade your coin. Send it to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade of MS-67 or higher can skyrocket your coin's market value. Now, let's talk current market values. As of today, 2025, a regular 1986 D Lincoln cent in circulated condition is worth about 1 cent, no surprise there. But coins in mint state red condition, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, are fetching values between $5 and $85. Ultra-rare versions with errors or top-tier grading? Hold on to your seat, those are crossing the auction block for over $5,000, $25,000, and one special coin recently made headlines at $585,345 due to its double die obverse and pristine MS-68 red condition. Yes, 1 cent turned into more than $500,000. So before you go tossing that pocket change or coin jar in the corner, remember, 1 penny can change your entire life. The 1986 D Lincoln cent is living proof of that. You don't need gold or silver to strike it rich. Sometimes, it's the little copper-colored coin that holds the biggest surprise. Today, we're diving into the incredible world of the 1987 D Lincoln cent, a small copper-plated coin that might just be hiding a fortune in your pocket. Yes, you heard that right. That ordinary-looking 1-cent coin from 1987 minted in Denver could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition, rarity, and error types. With a current high market value reported at over $585,345, this isn't just pocket change anymore, this is potential treasure, so grab your magnifying glass, get comfortable, and stay with us through the end of this video because we're about to uncover the full history, hidden features, rare errors, collector demand, and the true value behind the 1987 D. Lincoln penny. Let's start with the basics. The 1987 D. Lincoln cent is part of a long legacy of American coinage. Featuring the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, this penny represents more than just 1 cent. It's a reflection of history, politics, economy, and even modern-day collectibles. This particular coin was minted at the Denver Mint, which is indicated by the small D mint mark right below the date 1987 on the obverse side. And while the Denver Mint produced over 4.5 billion of these pennies that year, not all of them are created equal. But first, let's rewind a little bit. The year is 1987. Ronald Reagan is president. The stock market is soaring, technology is advancing, and Americans are pocketing pennies daily, never realizing some of them might hold unexpected value decades later. The Lincoln cent had already been in circulation since 1909, created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. And by 1982, the U.S. Mint had made a major change in the penny's composition, switching from 95% copper to a copper-plated zinc core to reduce production costs. That means your 1987 D penny likely contains 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. This shift, while mostly unnoticed at the time, opened the door to a variety of minting errors, die breaks, and even rare varieties, many of which are now hunted by collectors with extreme interest. So what makes the 1987 D penny potentially worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? The answer lies in its condition, mint errors, and die varieties. Here are just a few examples that have sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. If you see doubling in the letters Liberty or In God We Trust, especially visible under magnification, that could be a double die error worth hundreds or even thousands. Pennies that are noticeably center, especially those with a visible date and mint mark, are rare and can bring in $50 to over $1,000 depending on the degree of the error. So how do you know if you have a valuable 1987 D penny sitting in your piggy bank? Check for doubling. Look at the letters and numbers under a 10x magnifier. Center strikes, or strange textures could signal value. Look for luster and wear. The more red and shiny your penny looks, the better the grade. Weigh it. A genuine 1987 D penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. Anything significantly different could mean a planchet error or counterfeit. Submit for grading. If your coin looks perfect or suspiciously rare, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional evaluation. That small investment could turn into a massive payday. Demand for error coins and high-grade Lincoln cents has never been higher. Coin shows, online auctions, collector groups, and eBay listings are filled with buyers looking to get their hands on unique 1987 D specimens. Recent sales have shown dramatic rises in value, especially as more people become aware of the hidden gems lying unnoticed in old jars and drawers. With the coin market seeing a strong resurgence post-2020, and the rise of digital platforms for auctioning collectibles, now is the perfect time to dig through your coins and check those 1987 D pennies. Let's take a look at some real-world auction results. A 1987 D Lincoln penny in MS67 red sold $4.500. A double die 1987 D penny with a strong spread on Liberty sold for over $200. So what are you waiting for? Go check your change jars. Look through your old penny rolls. Visit estate sales and antique shops. Because that 1987 D Lincoln cent you overlooked might just be a six-figure windfall waiting to be discovered. And don't forget, every coin has a story. Some stories are worth 1 cent. Others are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1987 D Lincoln penny, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to USA Coin 1, and turn on notifications so you never miss another episode uncovering rare US coins with hidden value. drop a comment below if you found a 1987 D penny or any coin you're curious about. Who knows? You might be sitting on a gold mine. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and remember, 1 cent can change everything. Today's spotlight is shining bright on a small yet mighty piece of American history, the 1991 D Lincoln cent. Yes, we're talking about a humble 1 cent coin that could be worth hundreds, even thousands, of dollars, depending on its condition, rarity, and errors. So, don't blink, don't scroll, because what you're about to discover might just change the way you look at every penny in your change jar. Let's roll the clock back to the early 90s. It's the year 1991. George H. W. Bush is President of the United States. The internet is still a new idea. And deep inside the Denver Mint, millions of copper-plated zinc coins are being struck, coins featuring none other than the beloved Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909, marked the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent evolved, but the bust of Lincoln remained, a symbol of honesty, leadership, and unity. In 1991, the coin was struck with a D mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver, Colorado. That year, the Denver Mint produced over 4.6 billion Lincoln cents. Yes, billion. But not all of them are equal. Some of them carry hidden errors. Others survived in perfect condition, untouched by time. And those are the ones collectors are chasing down today. The 1991 D Lincoln penny is composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, a change made in 1982 due to rising copper prices. Weighing just 2.5 grams, this penny is small, light, and often overlooked, but let's not forget what's packed into this tiny treasure. On the obverse, you'll find Lincoln's iconic portrait. Above his head, the motto, "In God We Trust." To the left, the word "Liberty." To the right, the date 1991, followed by the D mint mark. Flip it over and you get a view of the Lincoln Memorial, the reverse design created by Frank Gasparo, featuring intricate columns and the statue of Lincoln barely visible between them. Above it, United States of America. Below, 1 cent. And across the top center, the Latin phrase, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. This coin is not just metal. It's a piece of American pride. Rare errors. Look for now, let's talk about where things get really exciting, mint errors and varieties that can turn this 1 cent coin into a small fortune. If you have a 1991 D Lincoln cent, here are some errors that could make it extremely valuable. Look closely at the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date. If you notice doubling in the letters or numbers, you may be holding a double die, one of the most sought-after types of mint errors. If the coin's design is center, especially by 10% or more, and the date is still visible, jackpot. These errors are rare and highly prized. Coins struck without the collar can expand outward, creating a wider than normal appearance. These are collectible, especially in uncirculated condition. Clipped planchet errors. A visible chunk missing from the coin, not from damage, but from a faulty blank, can drive up the price. If a Lincoln cent was accidentally struck on a dime or foreign coin blank, this is extremely rare and can sell for thousands. Market value. And you might be asking, how much can my 1991 D Lincoln cent really be worth today? Let's break it down. In average pocket-worn condition, it's still worth 1 cent. But collectors and buyers are willing to pay more for clean, sharp examples. A lightly circulated 1991 D penny might sell for 5 to 20 cents. Here's where the value skyrockets. A coin graded MS65 read by PCGS or NGC, meaning it's in pristine, shiny condition, can fetch between $5 and $25. Only a few coins from this mintage survive in this perfect condition. These have sold at auction for $300 to $800, with some rare examples pushing past $1,000. Center error in MS condition can sell for $100 to $500. Extremely rare error coins like wrong planchet strikes have fetched over $5,000 at major coin auctions. So yes, that little copper-colored coin might just be a hidden gold mine. How to find and sell THEM, wondering what to do next? Grab a magnifying glass and check your penny jar, your wallet, your old change stash. Pay close attention to the date, the mint mark, and any unusual features. Examine every coin under good light. Look for signs of mint errors or exceptional condition. If you find something promising, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS, Heritage Auctions, Great Collections, local coin dealers, or Coin Show's. Final thoughts: why this penny matters? You might be thinking, it's just a penny. But that's the beauty of coin collecting. It's not just about money, it's about the history, the hunt, the thrill, and the value that others might overlook. The 1991 D. Lincoln cent is more than a coin, it's a piece of America's economic and artistic legacy, a treasure hiding in plain sight. So the next time you get change at the grocery store or dig through your couch cushions, take a second look. You never know, that one penny could be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands, of dollars. OUTRO, call TOACTO, and if you learned something new or feel inspired to go hunting for treasure in your change jar, hit that like button right now. Make sure to subscribe to USA Coin 1 for more deep dives into valuable coins, rare mint errors, and surprising coin history. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare Lincoln penny or have questions about one in your collection. End of script. Today, we're diving into the world of small cents and big surprises. Hold on tight, because this is the story of a simple penny, the 1995 D. Lincoln cent, a coin that millions of people walk past every single day without realizing it could be worth a fortune. You might think, it's just a penny. But in the coin collecting world, every detail matters, and the 1995 D. Lincoln penny has secrets, history, and a market value that might just blow your mind. Let's start with the basics. The 1995 D. Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, Colorado. That's what the D mint mark stands for, right beneath the year on the coin. And in 1995 alone, over 7 billion Lincoln pennies were struck. Yes, you heard that right, billions. So, you might be asking, with so many minted, how can this little coin be worth so much? That's the mystery we're here to solve. Let's rewind the clock for a moment. The Lincoln cent was first issued in 1909, to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to ever feature a real historical figure. That design remained mostly unchanged until 1959, when the reverse changed from 2 wheat stalks to the Lincoln Memorial. From that point onward, for over 50 years, the Lincoln Memorial design was a staple of American pocket change. And the 1995 D penny belongs to this iconic memorial series. But it's more than just a design, it's a piece of American legacy. Now, let's look at the coin itself. On the obverse, or front side, we see Abraham Lincoln's bust, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, the same man who designed the original 1909 version. Above Lincoln's head are the proud words, "I and God we trust." To the left, liberty, and to the right, the year 1995, along with that all-important D mint mark. Flip it over, and we get the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial, framed by the words United States of America, e pluribus unum, and of course, the denomination, 1 cent, simple? Yes. But simple can be stunning, especially when rarity, condition, and errors come into play. Here's where things get very interesting. Even though 1995 D pennies were mass-produced, not all pennies are created equal. Some have minting errors, small imperfections that make them extremely valuable to collectors. Enter strikes, double dies, die cracks, clipped planchets, BE errors, which occur between the letters B and E in Liberty. Some of these 1995 D Lincoln pennies with visible errors have sold. Now let's talk about grading. A coin's value is heavily influenced by its grade, which measures how well preserved it is. Grades range from poor all the way up to mint state, MS 70. A 1995 D Lincoln cent in average circulated condition is worth face value, yes, just 1 cent. But in high mint state condition, such as MS 65, MS 66, and MS 67, the value climbs significantly. Recent auctions have seen 1995 D pennies in MS 67 red condition selling for over $250 to $500, depending on appeal and demand. Some of the rarest pieces, in perfect MS 68 plus red condition, have reached prices as high as $1,000 or more, that's right. In top pristine condition, especially if your 1995 D penny has an unusual error, or is certified at an ultra-high grade by PCGS or NGC, it could fetch a whopping $585.348, yes, over $1,000, for just one coin. So, check your coin jars, your piggy banks, your old pants pockets. You might just be sitting on a mini treasure. A regular copper-plated zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams. If it's heavier, you may have a rare transitional planchet. Now, here's a bonus tip for all coin lovers: the 1995 D Lincoln cent may not be rare in quantity, but it's rare in quality, especially in untouched, gem-uncirculated condition. A lot of these coins were spent, worn, or corroded. That's why only a few high-grade examples survive today. So, don't dismiss your pennies, examine them. The next thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where we unlock the stories behind the coins you see every day. If you learned something new, hit that like button. If you've got a 1995 D Lincoln penny or any coin you want us to investigate, drop a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon so you never miss a new episode. This is more than collecting. This is preserving history, uncovering value, and sharing stories from America's pocket change. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and remember, every coin has a story. Today, we're diving into the world of small cents and big surprises. Hold on tight, because this is the story of a simple penny, the 1995 D Lincoln cent, a coin that millions of people walk past every single day without realizing it could be worth a fortune. You might think, it's just a penny. But in the coin collecting world, every detail matters, and the 1995 D Lincoln penny has secrets, history, and a market value that might just blow your mind. Let's start with the basics. The 1995 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, Colorado. That's what the D mint mark stands for, right beneath the year on the coin. And in 1995 alone, over 7 billion Lincoln pennies were struck. Yes, you heard that right, billions. So, you might be asking, with so many minted, how can this little coin be worth so much? That's the mystery we're here to solve. Let's rewind the clock for a moment. The Lincoln cent was first issued in 1909, to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to ever feature a real historical figure. That design remained mostly unchanged until 1959, when the reverse changed from 2 wheat stalks to the Lincoln Memorial. From that point onward, for over 50 years, the Lincoln Memorial design was a staple of American pocket change. And the 1995 D penny belongs to this iconic memorial series. But it's more than just a design, it's a piece of American legacy. Now, let's look at the coin itself. On the obverse, or front side, we see Abraham Lincoln's bust, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, the same man who designed the original 1909 version. Above Lincoln's head are the proud words, "I in God we trust." To the left, liberty, and to the right, the year 1995, along with that all-important D mint mark. Flip it over, and we get the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial, framed by the words United States of America, e pluribus unum, and of course, the denomination, 1 cent. Simple? Yes. But simple can be stunning, especially when rarity, condition, and errors come into play. Here's where things get very interesting. Even though 1995 D pennies were mass-produced, not all pennies are created equal. Some have minting errors, small imperfections that make them extremely valuable to collectors. Enter strikes, double dies, die cracks, clipped planchets, BE errors, which occur between the letters B and E in liberty. Some of these 1995 D Lincoln pennies with visible errors have sold. Now let's talk about grading. A coin's value is heavily influenced by its grade, which measures how well preserved it is. Grades range from poor all the way up to mint state, MS 70. A 1995 D Lincoln cent in average circulated condition is worth face value, yes, just 1 cent. But in high mint state condition, such as MS 65, MS 66, and MS 67, the value climbs significantly. Recent auctions have seen 1995 D pennies in MS 67 red condition selling for over $250 to $500, depending on appeal and demand. some of the rarest pieces, in perfect MS-68 plus red condition, have reached prices as high as $1,000 or more. That's right. In top pristine condition, especially if your 1995 D penny has an unusual error, or is certified at an ultra-high grade by PCGS or NGC, it could fetch a whopping $585.348, yes, over $1,000, for just one coin. So, check your coin jars, your piggy banks, your old pants pockets. You might just be sitting on a mini treasure. A regular copper-plated zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams. If it's heavier, you may have a rare transitional planchet. Now, here's a bonus tip for all coin lovers: the 1995 D Lincoln cent may not be rare in quantity, but it's rare in quality, especially in untouched, gem-uncirculated condition. A lot of these coins were spent, worn, or corroded. That's why only a few high-grade examples survive today. So, don't dismiss your pennies, examine them. The next thank you for watching USA Coins 1, where we unlock the stories behind the coins you see every day. If you learned something new, hit that like button. If you've got a 1995 D Lincoln penny or any coin you want us to investigate, drop a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell icon so you never miss a new episode. This is more than collecting. This is preserving history, uncovering value, and sharing stories from America's pocket change. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and remember, every coin has a story. Today, we're diving deep into a modern marvel from the United States Mint, the 2003 Lincoln cent, a coin that most people overlook but could actually be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars in the right condition. Stick with us to the end because you'll not only learn the full history of this coin, but we'll also reveal rare varieties, error coins, collector secrets, and its shocking current market value, which can climb up to a jaw-dropping $585,346 if you're lucky enough to find the right one. The legendary history of the Lincoln cent. Let's rewind the clock to understand how we got to the 2003 edition. The Lincoln cent first made its appearance in 1909, replacing the Indian head cent, in honor of President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, a revolutionary moment in American coinage history. For nearly a century, the Lincoln cent evolved, from its original wheat reverse to the memorial reverse introduced in 1959, celebrating the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. That's the design you see on the back of the 2003 penny. But hidden beneath that familiar look is a story of rarity, value, and collector demand. Chapter 2: The 2003 Lincoln penny. Design and composition. The 2003 Lincoln cent was minted in 3 major U.S. mint facilities. We see Abraham Lincoln's bust, with the words, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty," on the left, and the year 2003 on the right. Along with the mint mark if applicable. On the reverse, we have the Lincoln Memorial, centered below the phrases, "United States of America," and "E Pluribus Unum." Beneath the memorial, in bold letters, 1 cent, looks ordinary. It's what's underneath, in the details, that makes this coin extraordinary. Chapter 3: Rare varieties and errors to look out for. Now we're getting to the juicy part. Not all 2003 Lincoln cents were created equal. A number of rare errors and varieties can dramatically increase the value of your penny. Let's explore. Some 2003 Lincoln cents show doubling on the lettering, especially around "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and even Lincoln's eye or bow tie. These double die errors can make your penny worth hundreds or thousands of dollars depending on condition. Center, say 10% to 50%, are rare and popular among collectors. A 2003 penny struck 50% off-center with clear date and mint mark could be worth over $1,000. Some 2003 pennies were accidentally struck on planchets that were incomplete, leading to curved or straight clips. These coins can command $50 to $300 or more at auction. Transitional errors or wrong planchet market value. The stunning numbers. Alright, let's get to the big question. How much is a 2003 Lincoln cent actually worth today? Imagine owning a penny that could fund a luxury vacation, pay off a car, or even buy you a house in some places. Chapter 5: Collector Tips. What to look for and how to sell. So how do you find one of these valuable 2003 Lincoln cents? Start with your change jar. Millions of these are still in circulation. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to look for doubling or minting errors. Look for pennies with strong luster, no scratches, and full original red color. Consider submitting your best finds to professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC for authentication and value certification. Sell through online auctions like eBay or coin shows, but only after proper grading. Final chapter. Why the 2003 Lincoln cent is a hidden gem. The 2003 Lincoln penny reminds us that treasure doesn't always glitter. Sometimes, it's hiding in plain sight, in a penny we pass over without a thought. In a world where we're always chasing big returns, this little coin proves that value can come from knowledge, sharp eyes, and a bit of patience. Thanks for watching today's deep dive into the 2003 Lincoln cent. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to RF Coins, and ring the bell so you never miss out on the next rare coin that could be sitting right in your pocket. Drop a comment below if you have a 2003 penny or a coin story to share. Who knows, your coin could be our next video feature. This is RF Coins, where your pocket change could be worth a fortune. See you next time, and happy collecting.